Eben Etzebeth, the towering cornerstone of the Springbok pack and a veteran of over 100 tests, will today attend a disciplinary hearing convened by tournament officials, his on-field legacy momentarily overshadowed by a cited incident of alleged foul play. The hearing, conducted via video link, follows his sending off in the closing stages of a fiercely contested match, where the opposing player accused the lock of making contact with his eye area in a ruck. Etzebeth's presence, though virtual, carries the weight of his reputation as one of rugby's most physically dominant yet traditionally disciplined enforcers. 2. The allegation, described as contrary to good sportsmanship, under Law 9.12, represents one of the game's most serious disciplinary breaches, carrying a potential suspension that could extend through the remainder of the current tournament. For a player of Etzebeth's stature, whose career has been built on a foundation of uncompromising but largely clean physicality, the charge strikes at the core of his professional integrity. His legal representatives are expected to argue vigorously that any contact was incidental, occurring in the chaotic and dynamic context of a contest for the ball on the ground. 3. Etzebeth's journey to this hearing is paved with a history of leadership and respect within the game, having captained both club and country and being a central figure in South Africa's back-to-back World Cup triumphs. This backdrop makes the current accusation particularly jarring for his global fanbase, who have long celebrated his relentless engine and set-piece mastery. The hearing panel will be tasked with disentangling intention from accident, reviewing multiple camera angles to determine whether the lock's actions cross the line from robust play into deliberate misconduct. 4. The Springbok coaching and management staff have publicly stated their full support for Etzebeth, emphasizing his exemplary disciplinary record over an exceptionally long career at the sports summit. They point to his rarity on the disciplinary docket as evidence that the incident is an aberration, not a pattern. This character reference will form a crucial part of the defense strategy, painting the picture of a player who embodies the hard but fair ethos of the Springbok jersey. 5. In the aftermath of the red card, Etzebeth was visibly frustrated but composed, accepting the match official's decision on the field without overt protest, a factor that may be noted favorably by the Judicial Committee. His conduct post-incident, both in immediately leaving the field and in his restrained comments to media since, demonstrates an understanding of the process and a respect for the game's governing structures, even as he prepares to contest the severity of the interpretation. 6. The complainant player's testimony and medical reports, if any, will be scrutinized. The judicial officer will need to assess the force and nature of the contact, looking for evidence of a gouging motion or a sustained, deliberate action. Etzebeth's defense will likely hinge on biomechanical analysis, suggesting his hand placement was for balance or clearing the ruck, with any contact to the face being fleeting, unintentional, and without malicious pressure. 7. The potential consequences of a lengthy ban are profound, not only for Etzebeth personally but for the Springboks campaign. His absence would create a cavernous void in the team's lineout, maul defense, and overall physical presence, forcing a strategic reshuffle that could derail championship aspirations. The stakes of this hearing, therefore, extend far beyond the individual player, influencing the competitive balance of the tournament itself. 8. Historically, judicial panels have taken a dim view of any contact with the eye area, citing the paramount importance of player safety. Precedent cases will be examined, with both sides drawing parallels or highlighting distinctions. Etzebeth's team will doubtless reference past incidents where similar accusations were downgraded or dismissed due to lack of clear evidence of intent, arguing this case belongs in that category of unfortunate rugby collisions. 9. For Etzebeth, a man who carries the hopes of a nation and the legacy of iconic Springbok locks before him, this hearing is an unwelcome but necessary trial. His entire career has been a testament to channeling immense power within the confines of the law, making this allegation a particularly bitter pill to swallow. The process will demand a level of patience and fortitude that matches the physical resilience he shows every weekend. 10. The rugby world watches with keen interest, knowing the outcome will reverberate through the sport. Purists argue the game must protect its players from genuine danger, while others caution against sanitizing the intense, close-quarter combat inherent to forward play. Etzebeth, at the center of this storm, finds himself an unwilling case study in this ongoing tension within the modern sport. 11. His testimony, when given, will be pivotal. The panel will observe his demeanor, his clarity, and his willingness to accept responsibility for any accidental infringement. A convincing account of his actions and intentions in that split-second moment could be the difference between a full acquittal and a multi-week suspension that tarnishes the twilight of his career. 12. Beyond the legal arguments, the hearing touches on the intangible concept of rugby's spirit. Etzebeth's defenders will argue that a player of his enduring caliber, who has given so much to the sport, deserves the benefit of the doubt when evidence is ambiguous. They will portray the citation as a product of the heightened scrutiny and slow-motion replay that can distort the reality of high-speed collision sport. 13. Regardless of the verdict, the episode is a stark reminder of the microscope under which modern professional athletes operate. Every action, in every frame, is subject to forensic examination. For Eben Etzebeth, a man accustomed to controlling his domain on the pitch, the hearing represents a loss of control, his fate resting in the hands of officials reviewing pixels on a screen. 14. The conclusion of the hearing will bring a form of closure, but the discussion will linger. If exonerated, questions may persist among rival supporters. If sanctioned, his legacy will bear an unfortunate asterisk for some. Etzebeth's challenge will be to absorb the outcome and, when permitted, return to the field with the same fearsome focus that has defined him, using the experience as fuel for his relentless drive. 15. As the virtual proceeding convenes, Eben Etzebeth faces one of the toughest battles of his career, a battle fought not with strength and technique, but with words, evidence, and reputation. The result will define the closing chapter of this particular tournament for him and serve as a lasting footnote in the storied career of one of rugby's most formidable and respected warriors.